For years, as a car enthusiast, I've often wondered why anybody would want to drive an EV. Until I did. You ready, bud? Yeah. Okay. Holy crap! Oh my God, every single time. So after driving a Tesla for the first time, I was fully mind blown. See, my dad had a Nissan Leaf for quite some time, and I drove it a few times, and while it was neat, it didn't have the performance that this Model Y Performance has. That just mind-bending torque all the time, anytime you want it. But see, there's a couple of complications that come with that mind-bending torque. One of them is tire wear. You see, when we bought this car, I knew the tire wear was iffy at the time. See, it had quite a bit of rear camber wear, and there was some noticeable camber/toe wear up front. But that has only gotten worse as we've had the car. See, not only do I have a lead foot, but my wife drives this all the time, and oftentimes she uses this to commute to work, where I typically work from home and don't have to commute. It's been a great gas savings for us, but my wife, she likes to drive fast too. And what I've noticed is that the right front inner tire is darn near ready to cord out. It's gone completely bald on the inside. I believe it's a toe wear problem, more so than camber up front. Definitely have camber in the rear. The other thing that we're gonna address, besides the fact that the tires are wearing like crazy, is the little tiny rubber bands that these 21-inch Uber turbines have on them. I spec'd out a set of tires and wheels through Evannex that would give us a better ride, would be lighter, I think, and possibly give us more efficiency. The most important thing for us was that they were gonna be more comfortable. It's gonna give us slightly more road clearance because at my wife's work, she works in new home sales. She's oftentimes dealing with driving around debris in the street, trucks and tractors and all sorts of crap on the road, and then in and out of unpaved driveways and things like that and through the dirt. So having just slightly more clearance is going to be beneficial. Plus, having a more rugged tire on the car, sounds kind of odd being performance, is going to give us a little bit more peace of mind so that we're not coming home with nails and debris and stuff. All right, let's get this guy in the shop and get these wheels off of here. Okay, so you're probably ready to see the wheels and tires that I got. I was super excited because they actually came earlier than I thought. They showed up this morning, and here they are. I already unwrapped one of them, and I'm super excited to get these on the car. They've got a ton more meat. I love this face with the turbine look. This is like what the Model S had. And what's super cool about this package is it comes complete. I didn't have to order wheels from one place and order tires from another and get tire sensors and then take it somewhere else to get balanced. All I had to do was pick the one I wanted on the website. I had to make a little modification because I wanted bigger tires, so I called them and it comes ready to roll. All I got to do is get it on the car and it's set. They came really well packaged with the front face and the rear face covered. You can see like the other three still. I mean, what more could you ask for from a simple process? And for me today, I'm gonna be doing this old school, like most of you are. I've got a lift on the other side of the shop, but I've got a truck over there with no transfer case and half a transmission in it. So over here it is. Let me show you the tools that we're gonna need to get this done. You're gonna need some method to get the car off of the ground, and to start, you're gonna want a lift puck of some sorts so that you can throw that on your jack to protect the bottom side of your car. Next, you're gonna need your 21mm socket and some sort of tool to get it off. My 1/2-inch gun is broken, so I'm gonna try a 3/8, but if it doesn't work, I've got a breaker bar to make that happen. Gotta get our wrapping off of the tires. We're gonna use a pick to get our cover off. And then last but not least, you're gonna want a torque wrench to make sure that you're torquing your studs, not your studs, but your lugs down to 129 foot-pounds. Before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and measure our ride height because I went with a significantly thicker sidewall to give us a lot more road comfort, but it's also gonna raise the car a little bit. So I'm gonna be measuring this the same way I was taught to measure with BMWs. I'm not comparing to factory, so I just need to compare wheel to wheel. So I'm going from the base wheel face to the fender, which is about 694 millimeters up front. And then out back, we have almost exactly 694 millimeters as well. All right, these are gonna be our stats as we go. We've got ride height, 694, 694. We'll get our new ride height, and let's get our weights as well. One last piece of safety equipment, especially if you're working in a driveway or something, would be a wheel chock and doing one wheel at a time. Now underneath, you can find our lift spot. It's right here. It's got the big hole, but this is part of your frame battery setup, which is exactly why we want a lift puck to protect from this metal jack. So check it out. When you lift, it gives you a nice support location, and the ears of your jack don't hit the battery or the body. Probably some factory tool for this. I don't know if it was included in the car since I bought my car used. And before I jack this up, I'm gonna see if my gun has the power to pull these lugs off. Okay, it does.
That actually worked really good.
Better than I thought. Now, ideally, you're gonna want to put some sort of safety mechanism down underneath the car, like jack stand. Judah's got the point here. He knows how to be safe. So I'm gonna go find one real quick because that's another piece of safety equipment that I wasn't thinking about initially. So you can see we've got our jack stand under there. I don't have the jack on the jack stand because I don't really like its placement. It's gonna keep us from dying or from the car falling on the ground. Now you might be wondering, my new wheels, they don't have a cap on them. So aren't these lug nuts gonna look kind of silly? And you would be correct in wondering that. Oh dear goodness, look at this tire. That is so bad. The tire itself is chunking out too. Like, it just wasn't a very good tire, I don't think. Okay. Dude, that looks so good.
Oh gosh.
I'm kind of a hoarder. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I have racks and racks of stuff that I've saved from all sorts of cars, including these lug nuts. These are Gorilla 66148DX M14 by 1.5 with a 60-degree conical seat. Now, I had these on a car 10 years ago, thereabouts. I had a second generation CTSV, another very fast car. But I wound up going with a different wheel and tire setup on that, and I had a spare set of lugs that happened to fit this. So my oversight, even when I was getting the wheels and tires, it shows on the Evannex website that they have these lugs available. I didn't think about that. So thankfully, I have these. Something else on the website you might want to take a look at if you don't have the tools would be a thin or a protected wall impact socket, because there is not a lot of room in here, which is why I'm putting these in by hand, because I don't have one of those sockets. So can you do it without it? Yes. Should you be silly careful with it? Also, yes.
Okay, that is a lot of brake, and I love it.
Dude, the brakes are so much more visible now. That was ultimately, when I was looking at this design, one of the things that I was like, it's gonna pop. And oh my goodness, does it pop. Ready? Here it comes. Oh, that looks so good. A lot of people are gonna tell you, you don't have to torque your wheels, just get them ugga-dugga tight. They're even gonna say you don't have to wear gloves, but I've got soft, pretty hands, and I want my wheels torqued. I do not want these coming off for any reason. Yeah, this is a really tight fit. I am getting a little bit of micro scratching in there. All right, here's one of our fronts. So let's see how much this weighs with totally worn out tread, or mostly worn out tread. Holy smackaroonies. 65 and 3 ounces, we'll call it. All right, how about a rear? Put your guesses in the comments down below. No cheating. All right, we're gonna call that 70 pounds, 4 ounces. One of the benefits to these wheels is these are rotary or flow forged, which makes them a strong, cost-effective wheel, but also lighter than a cast wheel. But I threw these big meats on here, so I'm kind of concerned they're gonna be heavy because rubber weighs a lot. What do we got? 58, 13. All right, I mean, that's a manageable difference. That's 12 pounds off of the rear almost. So it looks like we're saving about 6 pounds, 3 ounces on the front and 11 pounds, 7 ounces off of the rear. Now this is unsprung rotational mass that the car has to accelerate forward. So can we get better efficiency? Absolutely. Will the bigger tires eat up some of that efficiency in our case? More than likely. But what we're gonna benefit the most from the larger sidewall is increased suspension damping through the tire versus pushing that through the car, which will mean a little bit more rolling resistance and way more comfort that I'm super excited for in this super stiff chassis. I'm gonna get these other tires installed so that we can roll the car and get our height measurement. So while these tires come ready to run, it's always important to double check your tire pressures. I checked the other side and I had 38 and 39. This one, we've got 42. So before we go drive, there's a couple of settings in our display that we want to take a look at. Because we did a full tire and wheel change and TPMS change, there's going to be a few things that need to be looked at. So we're going to go into our control center, service, wheel and tire, and then we no longer have the Uber turbines. So we're going to go down to a 19-inch Gemini. We're going to update it. It's going to reboot so that it learns the new tire size. Now we're on 19-inch Gemini. We're going to go to tires. We already have all season or summer. Select tire service type. We're going to tell it that we did a full tire replacement. Now we can hit reset. Okay. Limit hard acceleration for the first few minutes to ensure the vehicle calibration. What this is doing is it's learning the rotation of the tires. That's going to be important for our speedometer and all of our vehicle functions. Now we'll go drive it, and we need to drive over 15 miles an hour for a couple of minutes so that it can learn the TPMS sensors. So let's talk about the road feel with these on the car versus the factory rubber bands. I felt a marked improvement in the damping, not so much of the shocks, because obviously that didn't change, but the feel of the road being shot up through the car. The performance and the non-performance alike, they come with very, very stiff dampening and rebound, and it makes for a very harsh ride. These taller sidewalls accomplished exactly what I wanted. As we're cruising around, whether it's going through a dip, a speed bump, or otherwise just road clunks all over the place, it felt way more soft and supple, the way that I wanted it to feel. Will it handle the same as before? Probably not quite the same, but that's where you can choose. Do you want the smaller sidewall or do you want more comfort? This option is a fantastic way to get more comfort. And they were significantly quieter than the tires that I had on there before. Now that we've got her back in the shop, the suspension is all settled out. Let's see what our ride height is. Now, obviously our height from wheel to here has changed because the wheel is different. So thinking ahead, I went ahead and measured to the ground as well because those two numbers aren't going to make a lot of sense. So we're just going to go straight to the ground on this number. 760. No, it's lower than that. 57. About 758-ish, 57-ish here. Now, comparing that to where we were before, is it a monster truck? Did we lift it up way high off of the ground?
Yes.
Well, no. We only came up a couple of millimeters. 754, 754, 758, 57, 57. So not a significant change, but the improvement in ride quality, vastly worth it. Plus, we have a lighter rotating assembly, so our efficiency should be better too. Our braking should be better, our turn-in response, all of that. But where do we go from here? Well, the first place I need to go is to the other side of the shop, where I've got Project Street Queen. That's my 06 Duramax tow rig, still on the lift, and still needing more work done. You see, I finally got the transmission back together, the transfer case in it, but I still have to complete quite a few other projects so that I can get her out of the shop and get Rosie over into this side. You see, all that tire wear that we are replacing our tires and wheels for, it didn't just happen on accident. A part of it is the alignment. I get that, that's super simple. The other part of it is worn components. You see up front, I know that I've got worn bushings in my upper and my lower control arms. So I've got a complete front set of control arms and all the hardware that I need to get all of these guys replaced. So not only will I have new ball joints and bushings, but I'll also have the correct hardware. And thanks to Evannex, they already sent me out their rear adjustable control arms as well. Now these are currently labeled as for Model 3, so we're gonna give them a test on my Model Y. They should fit nearly identically, and we'll find that out in the next coming episodes. So if you haven't already, you're gonna have to go down, hit that subscribe button, join the channel, become a part of the garage crew, and take a look at the links down below. You see, not only can you pick up these wheels, but you can pick up a whole other bunch of set of wheels and tires for your car. Your Model 3, Model Y, Model S, Model X, they've got it all. Plus suspension components and everything else in between. Take a look at all the links that I have down below, like and subscribe, and then tell me in the comments, what do you think of Rosie? And we'll see you in the next one.